But these are delicious. It's okay, I'll be eating all of these. If I slobber all over them, crumbs all over the place, I'll be eating them. Welcome to the Republic of Anna. I'm Anna, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a cranberry and pistachio biscotti. So let's get started and I'll let you know what you need. You're going to need 6 eggs, 1.5 cups of sugar, a cup of butter softened, 5.5 cups of all-purpose flour. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 1.5 tablespoons, I had to think about that, 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla, a cup of dried cranberries, and a cup of salted and then obviously deshelled pistachios. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our vanilla to the egg mixture. And we're gonna give that a little bit of a whisk, just to incorporate. Let me get a paper towel so I don't make a mess. Okay. Okay, looks pretty good. Then we're gonna add that in here. Then we're gonna take our sugar and we're gonna add that in. Oh, look at all that goodness. Look at my spatula, it's so cute. That's me. I just don't have any freckles. She has freckles. We're gonna add that in. Now with our whisk attachment, we're just gonna incorporate that until the eggs and the sugar are really nice and fluffy. Okay, so that looks good right there. Then what we're going to do is we are going to add our butter. We're going to remove this because we're going to put in our paddle attachment. Add in our butter. And then we're going to put in half of the flour. We've eyeballed that. And taking our paddle attachment, we're going to mix that up a bit. So we want to mix this until the butter is nice and combined. It's always a good time for coffee. Looking good. Now we're going to add the rest of the flour. So I just want to tell you a little bit of information is that the word biscotti means cookie. How we know it here in North America, we know a biscotti to be just that, what we're making today, a biscotti, but what we're actually making is a cantucci. A cantucci is a biscotti that's been baked twice. But for the sake of this video, we're calling it a biscotti, so we do not get confused. Just gonna scrape down the sides. Guys, I'm gonna tell you, this is one of the easiest recipes you can do. I was always so afraid to make biscotti because it just seemed to me to be so difficult, but super, super easy. And after we garnish them and everything, I'm gonna actually take it out of here for a second. After we garnish them, they're gonna look so beautiful. People are gonna be so impressed. And for some reason, always at the bottom of some of my KitchenAid bowls, there's always like residual flour that doesn't get incorporated. So I always kind of just scoop up the bottom just to make sure, but this looks really good. So it doesn't look like we're having a problem with incorporation. So we'll put that back. Just for a few more minutes. Actually, not even, a few more seconds. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put in the last bit of goodness. The cranberries, we're going to sprinkle that in or throw it in. Throw in those pistachios, and then we're just going to fold them in with your spatula. After you tidy your space, what you're going to do is you are going to lay your dough on a floured surface. A little bit of flour. And that was the half a cup reserved. Looks like I put too much here, but that's okay. I'll just spread out to the sides. Okay. So we are going to put this on a floured surface to incorporate better, because this spatula is not working. All right. You know what? I'm going to use the best tool in the house, my hands. Let's see. Okay. Alrighty. I think I need a little bit of. Alright, so we just want to incorporate. Let me take off my hair tie. Just make sure that all your cranberries and your pistachios are well mixed in. This is a really, really beautiful soft dough. It's so, I don't know if you could see this, but like, it's just so beautiful, nice and soft. All right, once you got that into kind of like an oval shape, you're gonna divide this in half. Okay? Okay, so once you have them all divided in half, what you're gonna do is you're gonna clean up your space again, and then I'll show you what's next. See you in a few minutes. Okay, so now we've cleaned up our area a little bit. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take a baking sheet. You're gonna spray the bottom with a little bit of, you know, whatever you have, like Pam, or just to get your parchment paper to stick. You're gonna take your dough and you're gonna roll it into a log. Show you here. And do the same with the other. Kind of get them maybe the same. Okay. And you're going to lift them. You're going to put them on your baking pan. Oh my God, this one looks a little, let me just squish it, kind of looked a little thin in the middle. Oh, this one too. That's all good. Look, if you're anything like me, we do not need things to be perfect. So pressing them down just slightly, you're going to take your rolling pin And you're gonna roll them out flat. Not too flat, but you know, and because that looks pretty good. Take some of this residual that over a shade. This one doesn't look, poor thing, doesn't look a little thin there. Let me move that. So if that happens too, that's okay. I mean, as long as it tastes good, it doesn't have to be super, super perfect, right? I'm not about perfection. I'm about the yumminess of it all. And I'm loving the way this looks. Okay, so you have, it's looking okay. This, I want to do a little, it's a little thick, just roll it towards you a bit. That's all. Just roll it towards you where it's a little thick or away from you to disperse. Okay, so once you have these rolled out, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put them in your 350-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes, just until the tops are a little bit golden brown, and then I'll show you what we need to do next. Our biscotti were in the oven for 25 minutes at 350. I took them out of the oven. I lowered my oven to 270. I let my biscotti just cool down for a few minutes. Now, I do want to mention, if your biscotti breaks from oven to counter, don't worry. Mine separated here, but again, don't worry about it. Okay, so with a serrated knife, we're gonna cut off the end. We'll cook that up because that's gonna be the part that I'm gonna eat. So I'm just going to cut another part off. Okay, so what we're gonna do, about 1 inch or to 3/4 of an inch thick, I'm going to start to cut these. Once I finish both, I'll let you know what we do next. Okay, so once we've cut them up, I'm just gonna show you, we want to put them on the baking sheet, separated a tad. Just be ginger. Once we're all done, we're going to pop them back in the oven at 270, as I mentioned earlier, for 2.5 hours. These cookies are gonna come out, or these biscotti, should I say, biscotti, will come out so crunchy. They're to die for. Okay, so we let our biscottis dry bake for 2 hours and 15 minutes at 270. I took them out and I let them cool down for a bit. In the meantime, what I did was I took 2.5 cups of chipits, milk chocolate, and on a double boiler, I melted it. Also, I've ground up about, I'd say, a cup of pistachios. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna dunk our biscotti in the chocolate, some of them, and we're just gonna leave like that, and then we're gonna dunk some and then cover them in pistachio. So let me show you what I'm talking about. And I usually put my melted chocolate in a mug. It's just easier for me to maneuver. Now, if you don't want your biscotti, and I think I mentioned this before, and you're just gonna actually, going back to what I'm doing, just lay them down flat like that. If you don't want your biscotti super crunchy, you can just let them dry bake for 2 hours. But I like mine super crunchy, so I left mine in for 2 hours and 50 minutes, 2.5 hours. And you just scrape the bottom and just lay them down. So cantucci are a little bit more darker in color because you let them roast for a little bit longer. And if you do the 2 hours, they're a little bit more lighter in color. Let me move on to the dunking so I could show you that. We're gonna leave those like that because we're also gonna put more garnish on those. We're gonna do white chocolate. I'm gonna show you how to do that in a minute. So we've dunked them in chocolate, and then you're just going to press them into your biscotti, not your biscotti, you're gonna press them into your pistachio. Just like that. Show you that again. So you're gonna dunk and just wipe off the sides and then just kind of roll them in your pistachio. You can use anything. You can use a macadamia nut, a hazelnut, whatever you like. I'm gonna finish a few of these and then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with the white chocolate. Okay, all, so what I did was I melted half a cup of white chocolate, put in a piping bag with a small point. I'm getting chocolate all over me. Okay, and all you're gonna do, okay, is you're gonna run it back and forth just like that. I'm telling you, this is like, they're easy. It just takes a little bit of time. This is great to do on a Sunday morning if you start and you go and you do your chores, or your Saturday morning. Okay, and then you're gonna take your toothpick and you're just gonna run it down the chocolate. And it gives it this beautiful effect. So once you're done dipping your chocolate and dipping it in your nuts and you finish the white chocolate, just leave them out on the counter 15-20 minutes, and then when the chocolate hardens, they'll be ready to eat. And once we get there, you can be sure I am going to try one. They're going to be delicious. See you in a bit. Okay, everybody, so our chocolate has hardened and I cannot wait to get into these things. Which one? Let's try this one. So let me know if you can hear the crunch, okay? Oh yeah. So, oh my God, I'm being such a pig. So, you get the crunchiness, you get the chewiness from the cranberry, the saltiness from the pistachio. This is a winner. It's a moneymaker. This is the OG of all biscotti. You gotta try them. If you do, you know what to do. My Instagram account will be linked below. Please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up if you like biscotti, which I know you all do. And ring that bell for further notifications. Thank you so much for spending time with me, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Ciao.